am here with a story time. Boo, 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 boo. Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Feel free to join the family by clicking the subscribe button below and the bell next to it so that you're notified every time I upload a video. And if you're a returning subscriber, a regular, a day one, you know the vibes. Thank you so much for tuning back to another beautiful episode of Good Vibes. Without wasting any time, Aria Wena, roll my intro. I'm here with my second story time ever on this channel. If you haven't yet watched my first story time, what are you doing with your life? Grab your rich people juice, guys. Grab your rich people juice and let's get right into the video. So I'm so excited talking about this, coming from a good place now, because coming from a place of gratitude. First of all, I'd just like to thank God for his safety, for his hand over me, over us that night. It could have been worse and we could have been saying a different story. So I just like to thank God for his protection and all the things he continues doing that we don't see and don't know about. I suck at telling stories, so I hope this one turns out really well. This story involves three people: me, my cousin, and her fiance. So that's let's name her Maria, and let's name the fiance James. Ne? Sharp. So basically, it happened in Zambia when I was still in Zambia a few months ago, and Maria and I, my cousin, Maria and I, were renting an apartment somewhere. I don't know if I should name the places. I don't think it's advisable, right? I don't know. Okay, so Maria and I were living in a certain place, and that place was quite far from town and far from civilization, if I can put it that way. It was quite a distance, not far, because LUSAKA is big. It's not like Gaborone. It's really big, like, it's really big. It's far. So Maria had a job. Maria used to work 24/7, 365. So it was on a Friday, actually, and she went for work normally, like on a normal day. She left me home. I was studying for my exams. I was still preparing for my licensure exams at that time. So I'd always remain home when she goes for work. So that afternoon, I don't know what got into me. I was so bored and I'm like, let me go do my nails. Number one, I rarely do my nails. If you know me, you know. Number two, I don't know what got into me. Like, all of a sudden, I just said, I want to go do my nails. I really don't know. Number three, I know best not to move out of the house after 3 p.m. because of the distance it was from town. I knew that, we always knew that if it's 3 p.m. and you leave, you'll come back late. And it's not safe for us to come back late. Maiken decided, no, I'm going to call Maria when I get to town and then we'll come back together. It shouldn't be a big deal, right? Cool, I went to town. I got to, okay, let me just name the places. I don't think it's that much of a big deal. We used to stay in Chalala, so I went to do my nails in Kamwala. Yeah, so I got to Kamwala. I did my nails, nice. My nails were looking good. I was the girl. I was feeling myself. And you know how things happen. I didn't even see any attack coming that night. We never saw any incidents. Yeah, anyways. So after doing my nails, I called Maria and I was like, Maria, I'm in Kamwala. Where are you? Are you done with work? She used to work in Manda Hill. So that's also like far. And she had to come to town first and we had to meet like at a place like the bus rank and come home together. So she told me that, oh no, James is coming to see me tonight. So you can go to Choppies because we're supposed to do our groceries together. We decided, okay, since we're both out of the house, let's go do a few home groceries and then come back together because we're scared of each other getting attacked. So we have to walk together. So I got to Choppies Waterworks. If you know Zambia and you know Waterworks, you know that it's far and that area is not safe at all. It is not safe. So I got to Choppies. I called my brother-in-law James And I said, James, where are you? Maria told me to call you. She said you're coming home to see her. Let's go home together, blah, blah, blah. And he said, oh, cool, I'll be there soon. My friend is driving me there now. So that's how he came, and we waited for Maria because she was coming from far and there was traffic in town that day. So she took a while to get to Shopee. So we waited. So in all that waiting and whatnot, it was now around 7 p.m. It was around 7 p.m. Now it's dark, it's winter, and thieves are red. They were ready, waiting for us. Anyway, so we decided to do the groceries. We picked a few things, a few items, and it was time to go home now. So the funny part, no, the tricky part about it is that combis, public transport, or buses as they call them in Zambia, they do not reach like near your house. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It dropped us off by the main road, and there was this passage that she had to walk to get home, you know. I don't know, like God just protected Maria every time she came from work. No, she used to come back home earlier than the timing that we walked. Anyways, so we walked, the three of us. We were very confident because James was there. I mean, he's a man. If anything happens, James will take over. So I know you're thinking the attack happened in the passage. No, man, he waited for us to get home. I'm so convinced till date that this person is someone who knew us, someone who studied us, someone who saw Horino. One day I'm going to attack those girls. Anyway, so we reached our gate, and I noticed, it was my mistake actually. I noticed that I forgot the key in the house. The key for the small gate. You know, it was a main gate and there was a small gate. So I forgot the key inside the house. So now I had to call, we had to call our neighbor because it was like a multi-res. So there were 3 flats in one yard. So we called our neighbor, and Maria didn't have a key because they always opened for her. I never went anywhere really. So we called our neighbor and we're like, dude, please open for us because we forgot our key. And he's like, okay, I'm coming. Literally, he said, I'm coming. So at that time, my phone and James' other phone are in my bag. And I had my bag strapped around me like this. And groceries, obviously. And Maria had her phone in her hand, the one she was using to call our neighbor to open for us. So while we're waiting for this guy, let's call him Mr. Se. We were waiting for Mr. Se to come and open the gate for us. Mr. Se doesn't come. 5-10 minutes, we're now panicking. We're standing outside the gate and it's getting really freaky. It's getting really dark, and our house was on the far end near a bush, so it was so scary. So we are calling Mr. Se. Now Mr. Se's wife picks up the phone and she's like, he said he's coming. Wait. Sometimes Zambian women can be rude. Zambian women can be rude. I don't know if she thought we were disturbing her quality time with Mr. Se. All I wanted was help for him to come and open the gate for us. Oh my gosh. I'll never forget Mrs. Se's wife till date. Mrs. Se's wife, I forgive you, but I'll never forget you. So we waited there, guys. Now it's past like 30 minutes. We're waiting outside and there's no one to open for us. So I started banging the gate. While I was banging the gate, some guy comes from absolutely nowhere. Some guy just pops up and he's like, are you guys okay? He was acting so helpful. You wouldn't have guessed that he's a thief. So he approached us and he was wearing a gray beanie, a maroon t-shirt and jeans, and he was quite chubby and he had a pot belly. I can't forget. So he approached us and he's like, are you guys okay? So Maria quickly looks back and she answers him in our native. Okay, let me just say it how he said it. I'll put subtitles below. He said, hello guys, why am I up a get ya bene? So Maria looks at him and she's like, Daddy, see get ya bene and get ya to Tinkalapano. And then he was persistent with asking what we were doing there. So I was just quiet. I was standing there because I was like, if I answer this guy back, I don't know what's going to come out of it. So brother James is now chipping in because Indoda must protect, Indoda must interfere, Indoda must, you know. So he looks at the guy and he's like, dude, why are you bothering my wife? What's the problem? Within 2 seconds, he just has a bottle of alcohol and he hits him on the head with it. You guys, this is happening all in the blink of an eye. all in front of me and Maria. He hits him with a bottle of alcohol on his head and he falls down. Once he falls down, before we know it, he grabs Maria's phone and he runs away. So I'm here, I'm standing there and I'm like, wait, what just happened? Did I see correctly? Am I okay? Hey, panic mode. I start banging the gate again. Mr. Say, I'm calling Mr. Say's name. Mr. Say is not answering. Mr. Say is ignoring. So Maria is now occupied. She starts taking care of her man's on the floor. He's bleeding on the ground. He's bleeding and he had a huge fall. Like, oh my gosh. Traumatizing to even think about how he's okay now. So he starts bleeding out and I see him and I'm not wearing anything that can help the situation to stop the bleeding, you know. And I tell Maria, I quickly pull off Maria's jacket. She was wearing a jacket. I quickly took it off and tied the head so that the bleeding can be controlled. While I'm still doing that, the thief comes back. Now he takes all the groceries. Guys, it's like a joke, ne? It sounds funny. He comes and he grabs all the groceries and he runs away again. So I'm like, honestly, people can't hear us screaming. We're screaming for help. Maria is crying. We had neighbors and no one cared to come out to find out what's going on or to hear why we are screaming, because everyone knew and they were aware that obviously there are girls staying in this compound, there are girls staying in this yard. They should at least have done something. But anyways, now it's my bag left that is over my shoulder. And I'm like, this thief is coming back for this bag, whether I like it or not. And I continue banging on the gate, banging, Mr. Say. And this thief comes back. Surely he comes back for me. And we are now looking at each other so, eye to eye. And he's like trying to get it off me, you know, when someone is trying to unhook something. I have a new manicure, guys, by the way. I did my nails. I'm like, this guy, he's playing with me. No ways. I pushed him back, with my manicure. I'm not so used to having a manicure, so it was kind of actually painful to do that. So, but I did it anyway. So I pushed him off and he's like coming back. You know, when he's fighting back and I'm pushing him away and he's also fighting back. I'm like, no ways. Not today, Satan. So I'm like, Maria, help me. And I'm thinking, Maria cannot help you, Maiken. She's struggling with a patient who's bleeding out down there. How do you expect her to help you? I'm like, no ways. This devil, this Satan, not today. So I really don't know where the energy came from. Till today, I just had this adrenaline over me and I kicked him and he went to fall far away. And I don't know why I couldn't think of maybe, okay, I don't know, maybe I'm too ambitious, but I think I was just overwhelmed with fear in the moment. But I would have loved to like hold him down, you know, the way it is in movies, fight him, do my I really wish I did that. But anyways, after he fell down there, that is when Mr. Se and his wife decide to come and open the gate. Like, I'm thinking, you didn't hear the noise this whole time, or they heard the noise and they decided to ignore it because they're also scared of being attacked. I don't know really what happened. So that's how Mr. Sai came out, and he now comes to Brother James. Is everything okay? Is he okay? And Maria is not having it. At that moment, Maria is not having it, and she's like telling Mr. Sai, instead of you asking if we're okay, you're the one who delayed to open the gate. Can you get your car and let's help him get to the hospital? You know, Mr. Sai had a car. So Mr. Sai is like now panicking, and he realizes how deep the situation is. And fine, we help James and Mr. Se into the car, Maria and I. So Maria is crying at that moment, and I'm just scared because now she's crying. She lost her phone, the groceries are gone. She lost her bag also. Her bag was also snatched, by the way, her bag with all her documents inside. You know, she was just holding it casually, you know, and her uniform was in there. It was just a lot. She lost a lot, and she lost so much. I don't know what would have happened as well to me if I didn't have my bag held like that. But her struggles were my struggles, are still my struggles. She's my sister cousin, and I was so affected by what she went through, especially the pain she had to go through, seeing her boyfriend go through so much pain. We got to Chilenje Level 1 hospital. That was where Mr. Se took us. I think it's the nearest hospital from Chalala. So we rushed there, and that's how, and I was so impressed with the Zambian system. 100%. I 100% commended Chilenje Hospital for the service that night. Thank you so much. Shout out to you guys. They really helped immediately, gave him immediate attention, gave him emergency drugs to stop the bleeding, sutured him, cleaned the wounds. You know, I was so impressed with the level of efficiency. So that was how James was taken care of into the ward, and Maria was with him in the room. So I remained outside with Mr. Sen. Now Mr. Sen is asking me what happened. I'm like, Mr. Se, so first of all, before I narrate to you what happened, number one, are you sure you never heard us screaming? First of all, why did you pick up the phone and tell us you're coming? Because there are like 3 yards in that house. We would have called the other neighbor. But we trusted Mr. Se first because he was elderly, married, you know. We're like, he'll take responsibility. He's a father. But he's like, no, I was in the room. My wife is the one who came to tell me that you were calling. So I expected her to come and open for you. He gave a story, basically a story that didn't even make sense. But I'm like, you know what? At this moment, there's no time to start panicking or blaming anyone. Let's just, it has already happened. Let's accept the situation and move on. So he's now being sorry, extending his empathy and whatnot. It really didn't help in the moment. We were so scared and we were panicking because James could have lost his life that night. And as for Maria, she was like, no, my phone is a materialistic thing. I'll replace my ID, my SIM cards, my bank cards. It's okay. It's fine as long as you're okay. Are you fine? Because I know if you were the one who had lost maybe your phone, you were not going to be able to cope, you know, and things like that. So that's how we went back home. And that was around now 10 p.m. in the night. Did I not fail to sleep? I failed to sleep that night, you guys. Like, I failed to sleep. I literally entered the room with Maria and James, and I put my mattress on the floor. I'm like, guys, I'm sorry, but today I'm going to sleep with you. And she's like, no problem. So cool. We didn't sleep, basically. We stayed the whole night. We were up the whole night, and we were so scared. And I couldn't get that guy's image out of my head. You know, he was literally just, he kept on showing up. It took me over 2 months to get over what I had seen. Like, he was literally here. We were fighting like this, like thief, face to face with a thief. That was my first and hopefully last encounter. Next morning, we had to go to the police to report the incidents, obviously. Maria was against the idea of reporting it because she's like, what has happened has already happened. Let's just find a new house and move. But Brother James was like, no, this guy I want justice. This guy must be caught. So we decided to go to the police, obviously. I forgot the name of that police station, but it was near Chilenje. Yeah, I think it's Chilenje police, I don't know. So we went to the police, and boy, did the police not bore us. The police guys, I think I watched too many movies. I just expected things to be done immediately. I expected him to come with us. We show him our suspects and they arrest him. But no, it didn't work like that, guys. Hey, the Zambian police system, African police system, if I can be honest, is very poor and can be pathetic sometimes. But anyways, we went to the police. The moment we entered, they asked us what happened. So the guy who's at the station, at the reception of the police, he's like, are you okay? What happened? Bwana mulche, nichani, bakumbana kumenyani. What? So we start narrating the story from A to Z, not knowing that he's just there. I don't know. He's not even the one who's supposed to be handling such cases. And he's like, babwana, bachokapo, embekezani 1 hour wazabwera. And we're like, so you made us talk the whole time only for you to come and to tell us to wait. But anyways, we waited, and it was in that moment I realized, wait, you haven't told your parents, you haven't informed your friends, you haven't informed anyone, your partner, about what's going on. Tell someone. You know, I was just overwhelmed with so many emotions that I forgot to call people. So I started by calling my mom, and I told her what happened. And according to her, she was like, no, thank God you are fine, thank God you are safe. Mothers, guys, mothers. Then I called my cousin, and she lived in Kabwata, and I'm like, girl, I'm not okay. I got attacked last night, and I'm coming over to your house. After the police thing is done, I'm coming. And she's like, are you okay? She was also panicking. Yeah, can I come and pick you? I can come and pick you. Just let me know when you're done with the whole police thing. I'll come and pick you. So then I called my partner, informed him, my friends. I only told my friends after I got over the trauma. Yeah, because I was dealing with a lot in the moment. So I only told them later. And I told my sister as well. But mostly, everyone was just glad we were safe. I was safe and everything. So after that, fine, we waited for that hour. The police boss, whatever, came back. So he took us into the investigating what. And I felt like a criminal. Police stations make me so uncomfortable. I felt like, I don't know. So he took us into a little room, and he interrogated us one by one, apparently just to see if all our statements were going to make sense, or we're all going to say the same thing. So we all said the same thing. I mean, there's nothing to lie about. That's what had happened. And this guy quickly rushes to say, James, you were intoxicated. You were intoxicated. How can you not fight that guy back as a guy? Maria was so offended. I was offended too, but I was like, okay, if this is how these people think, then cool. So he promised us that he was going to come to the house and follow up a suspect, any suspects that we thought we had, because we had one suspect in the house opposite us, because apparently he had a history of theft and whatnot. But the police never came. They never came to do the investigations. Never came to do that. What? They never came. Basically, it's Africa. They never came. So that's how we went back home. That was around 2, 3. We were so hungry now. Oh, there were some meds that we needed to buy for James because he was in so much pain. We had to buy food because they stole our food the previous night. Yo, it was a mess. We had to buy more food. It was just a mess. And I'm still thinking till this day that what kind of thief was that steals food? But again, I'm like, thank God he was alone. If there were more than 3, 4, Maria and I could have been raped. Maria and I could have been killed. James could have died. Like, I'm just thinking about a lot of things that could have happened that night. And you know how thieves don't like retaliation. So I'm just here shocked, and I'm like, thank God we were protected from that. And yeah, we went back home. We didn't stay in that house again for a second night. We were so scared, guys. Packed our few belongings that we could, and Maria went to James' place, James' relatives, and I went to my cousin in Kabata. And that is how I stopped renting my place alone in Zambia. I was like, is it really safe for me to stay alone out here? And it was election period, and a lot of things happened during election period. I was just so scared, basically. I was in trauma. I couldn't trust myself to stay alone anymore. So that's how I went to Kabata to stay with family, and I felt so safe. So safe. Basically, that's how I got attacked and survived the attack in Zambia. I really wouldn't wish it for anyone. Theft, robbery, attacks, the trauma that comes with those things is very bad. It's very, very bad. And right now, fast forward to everything, Maria is fine, James is fine. They're even getting married. They're getting married next year, April. I'm so happy. Everything is fine. I'm good. I'm in a good place as well, emotionally and mentally. Otherwise, it was a roller coaster of emotions. The trauma, guys, and trauma. It took me a while to get out of that place. Thank you for your prayers during that time, you guys. The few people I told, and it's done. Since then, I am so cautious about my environment. I was so scared of every guy I came across. You're walking in town, you have your bag close to you. Trauma. But yeah, that is all. Thank you so much for coming back to my story time. I hope I narrated well. I hope you guys were following from point A to B to C to D. Otherwise, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Bye.